established rich coming right back at you. Sometimes success don't offend people because you failed. It offends them because you didn't. There's a certain kind of person who can't clap when you win. They look at what you built and start looking for cracks. Not because the cracks are there, but because your success reminds them of their own failure. And what we just saw with Faizon Love speaking on 50 Cent was a perfect example of that energy. This wasn't no random comment. This was a mindset revealing itself. Faizon sat on that couch and questioned whether 50 Cent was making money in film or not. He questioned whether 50 should even be considered a real filmmaker. He questioned why people give him credit for projects connected to his name. Now pay attention to that. He didn't say the projects failed. He questioned their success. That's different, because when somebody can't deny what you built, they start trying to deny your ownership of it. They don't attack the structure. They attack your right to stand next to it. And that's exactly what this felt like.
Tyler Perry changed the game because he can do 26 shows in a week. Wrap it up, boom. Give me my money. And he's getting the, that's a filmmaker. He needs a studio to facilitate his
writing, his
writing, his
because he
vision.
might produce this. I'm writing this. I'm acting in this. So I got
Marvel,
I got 5 movies going on just this month.
And then Marvel might say, "Hey man, we need to have your studio. We're gonna give you $14 million for having the studio for 2 weeks."
Easy.
Easy.
But isn't that why 50's doing it?
Nobody's giving him no money to rent a movie in Freeport.
But why? If it's a dope
because
location?
they would have did it themselves. They moved from. They's the one that started Atlanta.
So maybe he think he's gonna start Shreveport.
He's not a filmmaker. What if I told you I'm starting a music business in Flint, Michigan?
I'd be like,
I bought a studio. What? I'm like, you here's my studio. We're gonna put out records. Like, what, nigga? What? You get a dinner at your house. Nigga, so dumb. You're so dumb. It's lucrative.
It has to be.
No.
Faizon.
The ones that are lucrative, you don't know. Faizon, I just don't see him waste so. All right.
Let me tell you this.
All right,
I worked with him for a lot of years.
Yeah.
Can you tell you?
Yeah.
That nigga's cheap.
I don't see him wasting no money.
He's not in the business of wasting
That's
money.
what I'm saying.
No, I hear what you're saying.
Yes.
But I see what he's doing.
So what's the play?
He's building up to sell it.
It's just talking. Just like,
Oh, clip farming like
yes. It's like, so we talking about it right now.
yeah.
Just like the Diddy film. Do you think he made money on that?
Yeah.
No. Where from where? You have to sell it.
sold it to Netflix.
For what, $5 million?
Sound like a lot of money to me, Faizon.
Nigga, Dave Chappelle gets $40 million for an hour stand-up. So how the Diddy
A 5-6-part series get $5 million.
But we don't know if he got $5 million. We don't know what he got.
They not.
He got $5 million and he didn't. And somebody brought it to him, and that's free money.
See, you come on. You thinking like a corner boy now. Yo, I only put in. I re-up. Now it's not the pie.
You talking about ex-drug dealers? That's how they make.
He's not a listen to me. I never understood 50 Cent. He's always seemed like a victim to me. Like, you got shot 5 times. You got shot 5 times. Well, I don't want to talk to you. I want to talk to the nigga that shot you. This nigga is wild. This nigga. No wonder you online. What you mean you want to talk to the nigga that shot the nigga? I don't want to talk to you. Who's the nigga that shot you?
don't want to see the nigga that survived the bullets and made it back and fought back and got
how
to
many
the top?
friends I got that?
I got niggas that got shot
5 times
but
and then that nigga.
But they didn't rap and make to the top of the food chain and become one of the famous niggas of all time in rap. They didn't do that, Faizon. They just got shot.
Yeah.
They just got shot.
So you know mad famous niggas that got shot and became...
Not mad famous.
That's what I'm saying. Them other niggas just got shot.
But maybe he's famous for certain, I don't know.
Watch how easy it comes out his mouth. Watch how comfortable he is dismissing another man's success. Ain't no hesitation, no respect for the possibility that he might be wrong. Just hating. And that kind of hating don't come from research. It comes from perception. It comes from what somebody decided to believe about you years ago. See, a lot of people still see 50 as a rapper. They don't see the executive, the producer, the builder. They freeze you in the version of yourself they were most comfortable with, because accepting your evolution requires them to update their opinion. And some people don't like doing that. It's easier to say he ain't really doing nothing, even when the work is public and the results are visible. That kind of talk ain't about facts. It's about positioning. It's about keeping somebody small in your mind so you don't have to accept how far they done gone. And here's what makes it interesting. 50 ain't get upset. He did what he always does. He responded. He went to Instagram and reminded people that everybody got a history. He posted things that forced people to look at Faizon differently. Not because he was trying to start something new, but because he was finishing something that was already started. When you throw stones at somebody publicly, you don't get to choose how they respond. And 50 been defending himself his whole career. He defended himself in the streets. He defended himself in music. And now he's defending himself in business. That's consistency. But what stood out wasn't the response. What stood out was the original comment. Because comments like that don't come from nowhere. They come from a place where somebody has already decided you don't deserve your position. And that's what people don't talk about enough. Success don't change everybody's opinion of you. It just hardens it. Sometimes the more you build, the more certain people need to believe it ain't real. Because accepting it will force them to look at their own path differently. It will force them to ask questions they don't want to ask themselves. Questions like, what did I do with my opportunity? Why didn't I build something like that? And instead of answering them questions, it's easier just to hate on your success. It's easier to say, he ain't really like that. That way they don't have to connect what they seeing with what they believe. And that's what this moment was really about. It wasn't about film and it wasn't about money. It was about permission. Permission to accept that somebody they once saw one way has become something bigger. And not everybody is willing to give you that permission. And see, this is where the pattern starts to show itself. Because when somebody dismisses one person's success, you watch close. You start paying attention to how they talk about other people who built something from nothing. And what you start realizing is, it ain't about one man. It's about how they see success in general. There are people who respect the bill. Then there are people who look at the bill and start trying to find ways to shrink it. Not with facts, but with tone. That little smirk, that little laugh. You starting your little podcast, that's not analysis, that's dismissal. And when you've been around long enough, you know exactly what that sounds like. Because everybody who's ever built something heard it. You say you got your first 1,000 subscribers and somebody say, that ain't shit. You say you made your first $10,000 legit and your homeboy start laughing. It's never enough for certain people. Not because it's not real, but because they never respected you in the first place. And that same energy showed up when Faizon was talking about Country Wayne. This is a man who built his platform from a phone. This is a man who turned social media into sold-out shows. He didn't wait for Hollywood to call him. He built his own audience first. And for some people, that kind of success don't look legit. Not because it's not successful, but because you ain't get it the way they did.
I gotta say this other part. I gotta be the other person. Okay, so back to the Country Wayne, because everybody always saying don't do it. Country Wayne. So everybody always like, well, you hating, you this, you that. Tell me something good about what he's been doing. Something good. Anything good.
Working for a living, that's it.
What is he doing good?
I'm asking you.
I'm asking you.
So you telling me that you don't see nothing good that he
No. What is he? See, you're talking to a different tier of a.
You can see how Faizon was hating then. That ain't someone studying the bill. That's somebody reducing it. And that's the part people feel, even if they don't have the words for it. Because when you build something from scratch, you know what it cost you. You know the nights nobody was watching. You know the times you felt stuck, the times you wanted to quit. So when somebody dismisses it like Faizon, it don't feel like critique. It feel like disrespect. Not because they disagree, but because they never acknowledge the work you put in. And that's what defines this kind of energy. It's not about correcting facts. It's about preserving their view of you. They need you to be smaller than what you are. They need your success to be bots and fake, because accepting it will force them to update their entire image of you. And some people would rather doubt you than do that. They rather say it ain't real than accept that you outgrew their expectations. And this ain't new. This is the same energy that meets every person who breaks out of the box that people put them in. You funny, but you ain't no businessman. You a rapper, you ain't no executive. You on the internet, that ain't no real business. Until ownership gets too clear to deny. Until your success is standing right there in front of them. And even then, some people still hate. They just laugh and shrug, act like it don't even matter. But it always matters, because success don't just change your life. It exposes how people really see you. And this is the part that people don't talk about openly. Not everybody who smiles at you respects you. Some people are watching you to see if you fall back down. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your success interrupts the story they told themselves about you. See, when people first meet you, they create a version of you in their mind. That version stays locked in their mind until they choose to update it. And some people refuse to update it, no matter how much you build. They rather believe you got lucky then accept that you evolve. What Faizon Love was showing was not criticism. It was what it looks like when somebody can't accept the version of you that they built for themselves. When he questioned 50 Cent's success in film, he couldn't be watching the present. He was talking from an old image he never let go of. When he dismissed Country Wayne's success, he wasn't measuring results. He was measuring comfort. Comfort with what he recognizes. Comfort in what fits his definition of legitimate. But the world don't move based on comfort. It moves based on execution. And execution don't need permission. It just needs consistency. That's why people who build their own path often face the most doubt, because they didn't wait for the system to validate them first. They created something the system had to recognize after the fact. And that kind of power makes certain people uncomfortable because it breaks the rules they believe were fixed. It proves success ain't reserved for people who take the old route. And when somebody does that, it forces everybody watching to choose how they respond. They can either respect it or hate it. Respect requires honesty. Hating requires denial. Denial is easier for people who never saw you that way to begin with. They don't have to change their mind if they never accepted your growth. So they talk, they laugh, they hate. And that's what people need to understand about hate. Hate don't always come loud. Sometimes it comes disguised as casual conversations. Sometimes it comes disguised as an opinion. But you can always hear it in the tone. You can always see it in the way success gets minimized instead of acknowledged. And here's the reality. Success don't require everybody's approval. It only requires your continued commitment. The people who doubt you don't determine your outcome. They only reveal their own limits in how they see you. What you build is real, whether they say it or not. What you create exists, whether they validate you or not. And the sooner you understand that, the less power they words gonna have over you. Because doubt is just noise when you moving with purpose. And noise always fades when results keep showing up. But hey, that's just my opinion. What's yours? Like, comment, subscribe. Establish Rich. I'll be back with another one. Peace.